Now we are moving into Miss Tammy P. Moore, mortgage coach and credit coach. Tammy Moore, the Diamond Diva, is the only African-American shareholder of Diamond Residential Mortgage and owner of Tammy P. Moore and Associates. She is a licensed mortgage originator in 8 states. She is a credit repair specialist, conducts seminars and personal coaching sessions to assist her clients with home ownership, credit, and financial planning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. So, two sides of the same coin, residential mortgages and assisting people with credit repair. Which one came first?
Actually, I was my first student with credit repair.
You were your first student?
I was.
Tell us about
I
that.
went through a divorce and had to file bankruptcy, and I had excellent credit before that. And I really, instead of paying someone to repair my credit, I just dived into research and credit, and I improved my credit score. And then God would have it that I would have an opportunity to become a mortgage originator at a company, and it all just fell into place hand in hand. And I've been doing it for 17 years now.
So, how are you? So, in what ways have you been able to effectively utilize your coaching as you are, in your originator position?
Well, a lot of people come to me to buy a home and they're not ready.
Right.
And, I don't turn them away. What I do is I tell them what they need to do to get ready. It doesn't matter if it takes them 6 months to 4 years.
Right.
I'm with them every step of the way. If they want it, I'm going to work with them to do it, because credit is so important, whether you buy a home or not. I mean, when you go to get a job now, they check your credit. When you get out of college, you have to get an apartment. So I'm trying to change the mindset that your credit is you on paper, and
Right.
you need to guard it as such.
Definitely. So when you were your first student, and as you've gone along the way and assisted others, what are some of the lesser known facts about credit repair and some of the things that you can do to maybe speed up the process?
A lot of it is actually simple, because, a lot of people will take the road where they'll pay someone to repair their credit when they can actually do it themselves. The most important thing to do is pay your bills on time. Keep all of your credit cards at about 30% of the balance. Do not max out your credit cards. Do not go over the limit.
Right.
And do not have a lot of inquiries. Your inquiries account every 6 months. They report in your credit report. So those are the most important things. It's actually very simple. And the thing is when you fall behind on something, to get it caught up immediately, because what you've done in the last 2 years affects your credit score the most.
Right. So when you were repairing, how long did it take you to repair your credit?
It took me about 6 months to a year. I mean, I went full on with my credit report. After I filed bankruptcy, what's important after you file bankruptcy is to not repeat the same mistakes.
Right.
Not to have any late payments, reestablish your credit, and that's what I did. And my credit score now is about, I think it's, last time we had it checked, it was like 780. No, what was it? 849? 849, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And the highest score that you can have now, it's up to 900. It used to be 850.
She just said she has an 849.
849. Thank
score.
you, Lord. But I remember when it was in the low fives.
So low fives is where a large amount of people are.
Yes.
So if you have a potential client that comes to you and they have a low five, and you're looking at setting up a strategy for them to increase their credit score, and coming in with a low five, there's a lot of frustration that they already have. How much of that is emotional, and how much of that is more so from an educational standpoint?
A lot of, I can look at a person's credit report and say, what happened at this time.
Right.
Unless you just don't pay your bills on time, life happens.
Right.
There are some things
Right.
happen. So a lot of it is emotional. You get so frustrated that, you get turned down, you go to buy things and you're told no all the time. But a quick tip for someone who has a credit score in the low 500s, it's because you have more negative than you do positive, and all you have to do is reverse the trend. So the easiest way is to open a secure credit card.
Right.
That's your own, putting up your own money, using 30% of the balance. If you have a car payment, pay $10 extra a month. If you have student loans that are deferred, Even though they're deferred, pay extra, because what's happening with your student loans is the interest is accruing.
Right.
And so it looks, you might start out with a $2,000 balance, and by the time you're done, you owe $3,200, and that's affecting your score. So it's really, really simple tips that you need to adhere to in order to improve your credit scores. So it takes determination. You have to put the emotional part aside besides, oh, I've ruined my credit. Yes. Okay. You've ruined your credit. What are you going to do to reverse it?
It's tax time. What are some of the, what is some advice that you would give to somebody who does not have a good credit score, who may be receiving a tax return?
Stay away from the TVs at Walmart. I say this at every seminar. You utilize that money to bounce back. I mean, that's an excellent time. 90% of the time, the reason why your credit score is low is because you don't have disposable cash.
Right.
Take that money and pay down some of your credit cards and use it wisely. Pay down some of your credit cards. Settle some of those collections that are affecting your score. But the most important thing is to get a credit report. I mean, you can't fix what you don't know that's out there.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are afraid, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you need to know what it is.
Right.
So the first thing that I would recommend is to get a copy of your credit report, a true credit report, because Credit Karma is not a true credit report. The scores on Credit Karma are going to be higher than the report that we run. I run into that all the time.
Okay.
And then, take that money and utilize it. And it's best to have someone tell you how to apply the money. But please, please, please don't go and spend your tax refund when you know that you're in debt or you need to improve your score. It's the best time to get a leg up.
So you talk about inquiries, hits on your, as far as folks pulling your credit reports. Individuals who don't have good credit are the ones that are getting, you're pre-approved for X amount, and then they're like, oh, I'm pre-approved, and they apply, they run the report, and they're not approved.
Right.
So in that sense, because oftentimes it is somebody who's just trying to be able to get something to give them a little bit of room. Is there a better way to vet those opportunities?
I'll use buying a car, for example.
Okay.
If you run your credit report and you know what your score is, you know what you're working with. When
Right.
you go into a car dealership, you have to take the control back. If you walk into a car dealership and say, look, I have a 530 credit score, what can you do for me? Because when you sign on the dotted line, you're telling them, find me a car.
Right.
And I've seen people that have 25 inquiries in one day. So you walk into a car dealership with the 530, you leave, it's dropped 50 points. You're now in the 400s. And you probably have a 20 to 30% interest rate. The first couple of years that you pay on the car, the balance is the same because it's all interest. You have to take the power back. Nobody will take care of you like you. So when you get those pre-approvals in the mail, if you have a copy of your credit report, you're going to know that you don't qualify for those things. So don't sign up for them. So, I mean, I believe in taking the control back. If you want to buy a car, go to a credit union, try to get pre-approved first, walk in with the check, because the point of the dealership is to find your car. When you walk in, that's what you want. But if you tell them what they're working with, they can tell you what they can do for you without ruining your credit at the same time or making it worse.
Right. All right. Flip side. Only African American shareholder of Diamond Residential Mortgage, and who coined you the Diamond Diva?
Actually, a realtor called us that because when we go out to visit realtors, our company is Diamond Residential Mortgage, and she always says I look like a diva. So one day I was walking in the door, and she goes, "Oh, here comes the Diamond Diva," and it just stuck with me because I also have a fashion blog. I teach people how to dress on a budget. I shop with coupons and things like that, so that's why they call me the diva.
Okay. So what was that process like? I imagine that it wasn't just buying in. I'm imagining that you had to work your way up to buy in to become a shareholder.
Yes, I actually started the company 17 years ago. And when the market crashed in 2007, the company that we were working for went bankrupt, and we had to find another home. So there were 14 of us that were all branch managers, division vice presidents. We decided to start our own company, and it was born from there. We all had to, contribute and start, and it has been so rewarding for me because I'm in a white male dominated business anyway.
Right.
And just to be a part of something and be the only African American owner is just such a blessing from God and a huge accomplishment, because I get to actually impact my people. I mean, and I'm fighting for them every day.
So from the industry side, white male dominated, what's some advice that you may give to somebody who may be a young black student who may be looking at this industry?
It has to be your passion.
Okay.
If you have a passion for helping people, and if you have a passion for making a difference, and you have a strong financial background, it's so rewarding. It's just nothing like it. It never gets old. It's a lot of work. I mean, I do more credit consultations than I do mortgages, but I know that it's reversing the curse.
Right.
It's changing lives.
Right.
So if you really, really want something that is rewarding financially, it's a lot of work. I mean, you have to put a lot of time. You have to be committed. You cannot pursue the dollars. You have to pursue the passion first.
So what are some of more of the finer points of what you do, and how are you able to differentiate yourself within this market of other mortgage originators?
I've always, for my entire 17 years, I've always conducted homebuyer seminars, credit counseling, homebuyer seminars. I'm out in the community,
Okay.
Educating. I think what sets me apart is that a customer is not just a loan to me. I look at them as customers for life, and I want them to. I'm now doing loans for some people's children. So, some of the millennials, I did loans for their moms or their aunts. And that is where you can see it full circle.
Right.
That, you did someone's loan 15 years ago and they said, oh, call Tammy. But I am educating. I help my customers establish a budget. I teach them how to repair their credit, how to pay down debt. It's just a full circle, because I want you to be financially educated and sound so you enjoy your home, that it's a blessing, not a burden.
So this is something that a lot of people need. So if they are listening and they may be in a position to where they need some really good advice on either how to prepare to be accepted for a mortgage, or how to go about repairing their credit, how can they get in touch with you?
My website is tammypmore.com, and I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. You can reach out to me on the contact page. I would be happy and honored to help anyone that wants to repair their credit, needs some more information on, what debts to pay first, or become a homeowner. So I'm available for that. And I do conduct seminars throughout. I'm venturing out across the country now, but I'm all over the Chicago area conducting seminars.
Do you have any coming up?
I have one coming up at the end of May. I'll post it on my website.
Okay, there you go. At the end of May, Miss Tammy P. Moore is going to be posting on her website. Oh, one thing. So there are some mumbles in the industry that we're headed for another bubble with subprime loans going out. Do you agree with that?
No.
No, you don't think so?
I think it's coming, but I don't think it will ever be what it was before.
Okay.
Because the guidelines they've tightened the reins, and the guidelines have changed to not allow that to happen again. Is it going to be some presence of it? Absolutely, because the values are going up, and of course, you have those companies out there that are going to take advantage of the situation. So, not us. Not us. We're going to stick to the A paper and do what's right, so we don't set people up to fail again.
All right. So, TammyPmore.com. We thank both of our guests for being on the show today. If you're listening and you missed any of the show, don't forget that you can listen to the recap Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. and Thursday at 6 p.m. And then you can also go to WVON.com and download and get the UBR download. Once again, my name is Jamal Jackson, CEO, Managing Attorney of Jackson Corporate Law, filling in for Ms. Mikai. We wish her a speedy recovery and for her return next week. We hope that you all have a great week. Stay blessed.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation. 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.